Good morning to everyone. I am Dr. K. Vijay Kumar, Associate Professor, Public Administration, Government City College, Hyderabad. Today, our topic is Development Administration and Changing Dynamics of Development Administration. Actually, last class we are discussed regarding this topic but not finished. Today we finished this total entire topic. Once again I repeat it, the main subtopics in the development administration and changing dynamics of development administration. The subtopics are objectives, introduction, understanding development and development administration. Then goals of development administration. Then context of development administration. Then instrument of development administration. For instrument of development administration, these are the instruments, that is administration, political organization, voluntary associations and people's organizations. And models of development administration. There are some models, the models of development administration and changing dynamics of development administration. Then lastly, conclusion. Yesterday we are already discussed objectives, introduction and understanding development and development administration and meaning of development administration and also some important definitions. Also we discussed trends and definitions also. Today we are starting from this goals of development administration. Goals of development administration. A national building and social economic progress are the two important goals of development administration. Nation building and as well as social economic progress are the two important goals of development administration. The first goal is concerned protecting the nation from external dangers has become an important goal to most of the developing countries. The second goal is a socio-economic progress deals with the sustained and widely diffused importance in material and social welfare. The developing countries suffer from low productivity and unequal distribution. The above goals split into 10 sub-goals by Milton J. Isban. The sub-goals are important to achieve these two goals of development. These two goals of development, that is the first goal is concerned protecting the nation from the external dangers. Then second one is socio-economic progress. For the development of the two important goals, the two important goals are depend on the 10 sub-goals by Milton J. Isban. The sub-goals are important to achieve the to goals of development. The sub goals are to achieving security against external aggregation and ensuring internal order. Then establishing and maintaining consensus on the legitimacy of the regime. Then integrate diverse ethnic, religious, communal and regional elements into a national political community. Then organizing and distributing formal powers and functions among organs of central, regional and local governments, and between public authority and even private sector also. Then dip- displacement of wasted traditional social economic interests. Displacement of wasted traditional social economic interests. Then development of modernizing skills and institutions. Modernizing skills as well as institutions. Then fostering of psychological and material security. Fostering of psychological and material security. Then mobilization of savings and current financial resources. Mobilization of savings and current financial resources. Then lastly, achieving a secure position in the internal community. Achieving a secure position in the international community. These are the 10 sub goals. If fulfill the 10 sub goals, then automatically the main two important goals of development administration will achieve the goals. That is, the first goal concerned protecting the nation from external dangers. If fulfill these 10 sub goals, automatically it will develop that the first goal. Also the second goal, that is a socio-economic progress. Socio-economic progress. The two goals are depend on the 10 sub goals according to Milton A. Jasman. Milton J. Isman. Then development administration versus administrative development. Development administration versus administrative development. The concept of development administration should be understood using two concepts: administration development and development administration. These are the two concepts should be understood. Development administration deals with the projects, programs, policies and ideas with focus on development of nations carried out by talented and skilled bureaucrats. The development administration deals with the projects, programs, policies and ideas with focus on development of nation carried out by talented and skilled bureaucrats. Then administration development indicates optimum utilization of available resources, material or human for making new means for development. The development administration deals with the projects, progress, policies and ideas with a focus on development of nation carried out by talented and skilled bureaucrats. For Onn Bentley, development administration involved management of government. Management of government. It involved in management of government or for an agency to ensure capability to cope up with social change and sustained growth. Then the development administration is that aspect of public administration in which focus of attention is on organizing and administering public agencies in such a way as to stimulate and facilitate defined programs of social and economic progress. Then, administrative development, on other hand, includes empowering administrative structure, making it capable enough to sustain the pressures of, pressures, pressures of development activities. It also includes developing administrative health by rationalizing institutional building and bringing about a radical change in administrative framework from the traditional approach to handle and create socio-economic and political development and social change. In essence, the administrative development essentials in itself, building decision making capabilities, development of skills and specialization in the personnel by way of imparting training, effective use of technology, increasing administrative capabilities, removing corruption and bringing in more accountability and creating leaders out of bureaucrats for promotion of development initiatives. So, administrative development indicates optimum utilization of variable resources, material or human for making new means for development. This is development administration versus administrative development. Then contexts of development administration. Contexts of development administration. The main contexts are four main contexts regarding development administration. The first one is historical context. The second one is political context. The third one is economic context. The fourth one is socio-economic context. The first one, historical context. The historical context determines the course of development. In fact, history closes many options to the people as the scope for retreat from many socio-economic conditions is extremely limited. The development strategies initiated at a particular point in the history produce consequences much later. For instance, the construction of Krishna and Godavari dams in Andhra Pradesh in the mid 19th century not only create a base for particular kind of development, but its influence on overall strategy till today is very powerful. Therefore, the need to appreciate the historical context of the region or the state and history of the administrative agencies itself is very crucial for understanding the complexity of development administration. That is the historically context. Then political context. The political context is another major influence on the development process. Also important uh, context. In this regard, the debate carried out by some of American scholars about the aid for administrative improvement is quite revealing. A group of scholars argued that exclusive aid for administrative improvement is injurious to the political health and development of system. They felt that the creation of strong administrative system in a society with a, with a weak political system is dangerous to the very democratic process. The debate highlights the crucial relationship between the administrative system and its political context. In fact, it is the political system that has to formulate the policies and provide the direction of for development. The administrative system has to translate those policies into realities. The political perspective and priorities, its cultural value have a deep impact on development administration. Then economic context. The economic context deals with the question of not only stepping up the overall production but also its distribution. Production, even distribution also most important. The general material condition, the intervention of the state in economic activities have almost become an integral part of development strategy. In the third world countries like India, the establishment of large number of public enterprises and heavy investment speak of the direct state intervention in the economic process, and the innumerable legislations and regulations indicate the indirect control that state exercises over the economy. The strategy of planned development, the strategy of planned development added a new dimension to the entire process of development administration. The overall rate of growth, the development of productive productive process, productive forces, the strategies for distributive justice characterize the nature and context of development of administration. This is the economic context. Then socio-cultural context. Socio-cultural context. The socio-cultural context is yet another component of the general context of development administration. Every society has a complex value system. You take in any type of nation, any type of society, every society has a complex value system. There are values which are conducive for rapid development, and there are another set of values which are anti-developmental. That is common in every society. It is believed that faith in karma has been harmful to the people in general and developmental process in particularly. For it induces helpfulness in man, reduces his productive capacity, and shatters its confidence to transform his environment. Likewise, we can cite a number of examples where backward thinking and holding up such values affects the progress of the society adversely. On the contrary, scientific temper, a greater faith in science and technology, political consciousness, desire for a better social order, and zeal for a better life can act as catalysts for change and development. The socio-cultural context also determines the texture of development administration. Therefore, the development approach has to adopt a very broad framework as so as to cover multiple dimensions of the environment in which the administrative system operates. These are the contexts of development administration: historical context, political context, economic context, and socio-economic contexts. Then, instruments of development administration. Instruments of development administration. The complexity of the task makes it clear that the development does not depend on the administrative system only. There is a need to employ different instruments to realize the developmental goals. Milton J. Esban identified four types of instruments. Four types of instruments. Development does not depend on the administrative system only. According to him, he identified Milton J. Esban identified four types of instruments. They are administrative system, political organization, voluntary associations, and people's organizations. The first we take first administrative system. It is one instrument for development administration. The administrative system, civil and military, is considered as an indispensable instrument to carry out the policies and programs intended of development. In all transitional societies, whose and complex bureaucracies are emerging to perform a vast range of activities undertaken by modern governments. The public bureaucracies have come to take very crucial decisions having far reaching implications to the society. To some administrative thinkers, administrative agencies have a propensity to become autonomous and operate in their own way and style. This is evident in certain areas where the political and administrative systems are not only experiencing stresses and strains but also passing through tense. However, there is growing depends on the administrative system because of its specialized skills and rich experience. While this instrument is widely used, development administration has become to accept that it is difficult to fulfill the tasks of development with the help of this single instrument only. Then political organization. Political organization. Political organization in developing countries are different kinds. There are political parties which believe in mass mobilization in support of development programs, and there are parties whose support comes from the elite sections. The development depends upon the organized nature of political party, its mass base and ideological direction. This instrument is expected to resolve social conflicts and pave the way for rapid development. It is for these reasons that political party is considered as a vital instrument for development administration. Then voluntary association. In any transitional situation, there is a stage where the traditional institutions break down and are not adequately replaced by the other institutions. The established associations, unless radically adapt themselves, the society would get into crisis situations. The Indian development experience reveals that some of the traditional institutions started taking advantage of the change. For instance, the the Pyravicars, middlemen between the government and people, are rampant in the system. They seek to fill in the vacuum created between the people and the government system. It is here that the voluntary associations can play a significant role, and they are being used as a part of development strategy. Then people's organization. Although people need to be organized by the political parties or voluntary associations for the purpose of mass mobilization. In most of the developing countries, the political parties are weak and the voluntary organizations taken a political view. It is widely agreed that development can take place only through people's participation. Without people's participation, that program policy cannot success. With the participation of people, automatically it will success. So the development strategy of developing societies need to make use of combination of these. The people's organizations which launch movements should also be considered as a positive sign of development, but they contribute to increasing transformation of socio-economic structure and create a basis for real development. The development strategy of developing societies needs to make use of combination of these instruments depending upon the nature of problems and complexity of the situation, because the development approach suggests that administrative system is only one of the instrument and is not the solo agency for nation building and socio-economic transformation. Hence, it seeks to study administration in relation to the other institutions, broader goals, socio-economic context, and economic change. It makes broader view of development and its institutional infrastructure. These are the instruments of development administrations, that is administrative system, political organization, voluntary association, and people's organization. Then models of development administration. Models of development administration. Based on the directional growth, system change and planning, Widener has formulated. Based on directional growth, system change and planning, Edward Widener has formulated 8 models. Widener formulated 8 models to identify the developmental direction of a country. These are ideal model, the short run payoff, the long run payoff, failure model, environmental stimulus model, pragmatism model, crisis model, and static model. These models are identified, formulated by the Edward Widener, the development administrative thinker. The first ideal model. This model is based on the planned directional growth with system change. This model necessitates the creation of planning machinery to formulate and implement plans in order to achieve orderly socio-economic progress in the country. It is a ideal model. Then short run payoff. This model supports for planned directional growth with no system change. It seeks to achieve development in the short run without disturbing the existing system, especially socio-economic and administrative system. This is short run payoff. Then long run payoff. This model provides for planned system with no directional growth. Under this situation, change may not result in immediate growth, but in the long run, it facilitates growth in levels of the economy and increase in its productive efficiency. That is long run payoff. It will take more time. Then failure model. It means that despite development plans, there is no considerable development in the society due to various reasons, such as population explosion, natural disasters, traditional technology, and traditions. The planning does not contribute or result in any change in the system. This model is primarily is based on the premise that the plans would not result in no growth and no system change. That is called it is a failure system. Then environmental stimulus model. In this model, in this model, there is unplanned directional growth with system change. But there is no plan, unplanned directional growth with a system change. In this model, there is less emphasis or no emphasis on planning. In spite of this, the factors such as social environment as competition, decentralized initiative, and emulation by entrepreneurs, leaders, or community groups may contribute or trigger off for such situation as a conducive environment to development. That is environmental stimulus model. Then pragmatism model. In this model, there is unplanned directional growth with no system change. There will be decentralized interactive competition, adaptation and emulation. It will cause for less problems and more liberalizing. Wittner considers this condition as natural strategy and an attractive course to follow. Then crisis model. It means unplanned system change. It means unplanned system change with no directional growth. This situation is generally the effect of adjustment made to meet emergencies like epidemic conditions, like now we are in the same that type of situation, then floods, war, and the so on, etc. Then static model. Static model. In this model, no plans and no change. There are few societies in which there is no change at all. That is static model. Then changing dynamics of development administration. Changing dynamics of development administration. The dynamics that stimulates changes in development administration and administrative improvement. During the first quarter century, there are remarkable changes in the models of development. These changes have questioned the relevance of development administration. Even the theory of public administration, it has been noted that all development models as imposed upon the developing world by the West. In 1970s, it was realized that the economic growth was increased substantially, but it failed to address the issues of poverty, unemployment, and socio-economic inequalities across the nations. This is the changing dynamic in developing administration. That is, in 1970s, it was realized that the economic growth was increased substantially, but it failed to address the issues of poverty, unemployment, and socio-economic inequalities across the nations. But in the 1980s, there was a paradigm shift in the content of the development models and administrative structures from growth centric to people centered approaches. In 1980s, there was a paradigm shift in the context of development models and administrative structures from the growth centric to people centered approaches. In the 1990s, the concept of sustainable development has become an important agenda of development administration. This has redefined the goals of development administration, i.e., growth with social justice, and ensuring people's participation in the development process and sustainable development. Then it is gaining increasing utility in emerging research areas such as inclusive growth, social capital, economical globalization, governance, and administrative decentralization, and development of NGOs, non governmental organizations. It's nothing but voluntary organizations and people's organizations, etc. On the other hand, the models have further triggered a widening of inequalities across the social groups and regions. Development turned out to be the anti-human and eco-destructive. It was also realized that development has been mostly modernized, technical, and dehumanized. Dehumanized. The consequent to transformation of dynamics of development and change in the societies, the research and development administration weakened weakened during the first quarter century in many countries. But since the early 21st century, it has shown signs of revival, signs, signs of symbols of revival in the administrative science discourse largely in response to emerging challenges and opportunities created by the globalization. So, it is gaining increasing utility in emerging research areas such as inclusive growth, social capital, and economic globalization, governance and administrative decentralization, development of NGOs, etc., are the changing dynamics of the development administration. Then conclusion. Development approach is the logical continuation of the ecological and comparative approaches. Development approach is the logical continuation of the ecological and comparative approaches. It seeks to interrelate the inside of the administration with outside of the administration. The inside has been dealt by the classical human relations and behavioral approaches, and outside is covered the ecological and comparative approaches. It seeks to interrelate the inside of the administration with outside of the administration. The inside has been dealt by the classical human relations and behavioral approaches, and outside is covered the ecological and comparative approaches. The theoretical perspective that would emerge in the times to come from this debate would be much more insightful, comprehensive, and operationally meaningful. So the development approach is also response to the Western scholars to the growing complexity to throw upon number of concepts and ideas for debate and discussion. The approaches raises valid questions related to the very goals of administration and its historical, political, economic, and socio-cultural context. Such a wide scope makes the approach rich and meaningful. This approach does not treat the administration in isolation. It considers administrative structure as one of the complementary instruments for the purpose of development. For the first time, an attempt is made to restore balanced perspective on the subject of public administration. Although it may be stated that this approach could not develop a valid theory, it should be said in favor of the approach that it laid broad base for the debate. The theoretical perspective that would emerge in the times to come from this debate would be much more insightful, comprehensive, and operationally meaningful. This is the conclusion of the development administration and changing dynamics of the development administration. Thank you.